For all y'all
it.
out there who don't know, our theme song was written by Mr. Cookie, Keith Barr, Bobo.
Keith Barr, Bobo, Cookie. All of those work.
All of the things. He wrote it. So today is Sunday. Some of us have forgotten. And we're surprised when discussion of recording came up. Who did that happen to? But we want to welcome all of you for joining us again, even if we're crazy and out of it. We thought today we would kind of look at, we found it fairly interesting how our generation has kind of watched cartoons our entire lives. Starting with like Saturday morning cartoons and crap when we were kids. Then there was always cartoons after school when he got home. And it just went on from there to Simpsons and Family Guy. And now there's Adult Swim because we're all addicted to cartoons, apparently. Escapism.
Yeah, we don't need that. Our little age group doesn't, we're fine.
Oh, I know. Everyone's good.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Everyone's great.
No.
Just great.
I feel fine.
Oh, yeah. So do I.
Michael?
I feel great.
We're all feeling fantastic, guys.
Yeah. Well, maybe these cartoons will explain it.
What cartoons? I've heard there might be something going on with those.
Isn't there something with cartoons?
Yeah.
What were your favorites when you were a kid? Favorites.
Sarge.
Let's see. He-Man, Transformers, the Smurfs. GoBots, the generic Transformers.
Yeah. You're missing a really important one.
Am I?
Yeah.
I mean, there was also Voltron.
You're getting close. I have 3 of them.
Man, I might have to write stuff down because I'll think of
As
them
pets.
and then I'll forget them when you're talking.
As pets.
I have 1 dog and 2 and 3 cats.
Thundercats?
Yeah.
Yes, Thundercats. Forgot
Yeah.
See, I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
What?
You've never seen Thundercats?
No, and this is another thing that comes into what cartoons we saw as children. Like, not only was I sheltered, we didn't have cable till I was in high school.
That wasn't cable, though.
It wasn't cable? Well, I don't know.
Ooh.
But
Was it cable? I thought it was like Fox or ABC or something.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, regular. Like
Yeah.
if you had
Like,
antennas.
when did cable start?
Cable started in like the late
Early
70s.
Oh, I thought it was early 80s.
But it became like pretty like we had, I don't know if you guys remember them. It's like a wood grain box
Right,
with like push buttons. Like that's the first
Uh-huh.
I remember of cable.
And it had a lever. So you
with
turn the
3
lever
tiers.
to get to
3
the tier.
tiers.
And
Yeah.
then you hit the button for that cable channel.
And the cable company would mail you a sticker if the channel lineups changed to put over it
The overlay, yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. We just
Oh my
had the
God.
smaller guy with the bunny ears and the 2 knobs. There's like 10 channels or whatever, and then the upper one was, I don't even remember.
If anyone younger is watching, do you want to explain what bunny ears are?
Bunny ears?
Because
Bunny ears, for all you young ones out there, are antennas.
Oh.
Like
back in those analog
back in
days.
the day, we also had antennas on our radios. And if you were super creative and fun, you would tear them off of things and fight with them. Use them as swords.
And then be regretful and try to build another one out of tinfoil.
Yeah, because then
Or a wire
you
hanger.
get no stations and you screwed yourself.
Mm-hmm. All kinds of fun that we've missed.
Oh, yeah. A lot of.
Yeah.
So
So you watched those. Would you call those your top?
I would definitely call those my top. Like if there's He-Man, especially.
Okay, I need to write
You
these.
know, it was coming home from school and being excited to come home from school because I knew if I came home, I need to hurry up, change into my non-school clothes,
Mm-hmm.
get any homework done, and then hurry up and get to the TV and hope that my brother and sister didn't
Hadn't taken over.
didn't take it over, and watch my shows and watch He-Man, Transformers, and all that. And then, yeah, it's especially when you only had one TV at the
Yeah.
time. That was your main TV, and you didn't have any TV in your bedroom. I mean, I have a TV in my bedroom. Most people do now. So, but growing up,
Didn't happen as often.
nope.
Yeah, growing up, it was the one TV in the house pretty much.
Yeah. It wasn't until I don't know, maybe third grade we got a hand-me-down TV
Mm-hmm.
with the antennas.
And it was what, 13 inches?
Yeah, it was like ee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't sit too close to the TV. Literally, my fucking iPad's bigger than that TV. What do you mean don't sit so close to it?
Yes. And then
It's like, oh my God.
trying to get the channel. And then I don't know if you remember the TVs with the dials. So you turn the dial to the channel you want.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it had a dial behind that you tune.
And you have to go UHF and VHF and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
I remember it.
Wow. Yeah. Good time.
We did overlap with some of the cartoons. I know there's 3 years, 3.5 something gap with us. Nothing crazy, but you would have been
Oh, I know. You like
7 when I was.
like you're this ancient man.
No, it's not even about that. It's about like 7 and 4 is a big difference when you're watching TV. And
I get it. You just you like to give some shit sometimes.
I can't right now.
You could if you want, but why am I encouraging you?
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying if I could make it happen.
Move on, Lindsay. Do not encourage.
No, He-Man for sure. I was younger with He-Man, so I don't remember a ton of it, but I remember watching it. I had like the sword. It was like a hollowed out piece of gray plastic that you put stickers on.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I watched that. Transformers 2. There was one that I loved, and not a whole lot of people. I even had the lunchbox. It was called Silverhawks. And there's a lot of people that don't remember that one, but I was really into it. Thundercats, like we talked about too. But do you remember this was on Saturday morning and it wasn't a cartoon? It was live action.
Ooh.
And it was the Amazing Sea Monkeys.
Your voice. The Amazing Sea Monkeys.
Because I realized how ridiculous that sounds.
Never heard of that either.
Yeah, we're gonna find that and put in a picture or something. But it was.
Oh, yeah, we should find clips of these.
It was nightmare
for any
fuel.
youngins that might watch and have no idea what we're talking about.
It was nightmare fuel. It was like, all right. So you know how the original Willy Wonka, like he had the boat ride, and you kind of felt like this is a little too dark for like a chocolate factory, right? Like shit like that happens between like 75 and 85 religiously. You know, they would always throw in this weird dark shit in the stuff that we watched, and then they're like, well, what happened? Why are you dyeing your hair, getting tattoos, and listening to screaming music? And it's like, you had me watching an acid trip about fucking sea monkeys on Saturday morning. Like, I know Bambi died with your generation, and that was really hard. I challenge you.
That just made me think of Old Yeller.
Oh my God, Old Yeller. Stop.
Oh God.
Yeah, there was some fucked up stuff.
As everyone should know, we're all we're all animal lovers here. So yeah.
Big time.
We love our little critters, our
We got,
babies.
like Ren and Stimpy. That was fucking crazy.
Yes.
I never
Beavis
saw
and
that.
Butthead came out when we were
Wasn't allowed to
preteen,
see
early
that.
teen. Like
Wasn't
I was.
allowed to see Simpsons.
Oh, Simpsons came out when I was like 7.
Why
Weren't
not?
we like 6 or 7?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was a little younger than you. But like I wasn't allowed to watch Simpsons or Beavis and Butthead. Plus Beavis and Butthead was only on MTV when it started, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all it was on. Yeah.
So that was cable, which I didn't have till I think I was 16 maybe. I was in high school when we got cable. Mike's trying so hard not to laugh at me about the cable.
I'm trying. Worst 80s cartoons and shows.
They were just, there was so much dark, man. Like there really was.
Yeah.
And it's, again, we were talking about this before we started filming. Like I watched cartoons, but I was a night owl as a kid, and USA used to do Up All Night. And one night was Gilbert Godfrey hosted it. And another night it was some woman, I don't remember, Rhonda or something. But they would show these horrible, like, B movies and horror movies that were 10, 15 years old. Like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, All the Howlings, Maniac Cop, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like 8 going, this is rad.
Yeah.
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then I wake up and watch fucking Sea Monkeys and Ren and Stimpy. This is why we're like this.
Yeah.
It really is.
And I didn't watch any of that stuff.
And what about the Friday the 13th, the series?
Oh, yeah.
I love
Freddie
that.
had a series too.
Yeah. Poor Lindsay. She was
I have
left out.
no idea what the fuck any you guys are talking about. So let's see. Stuff I remember watching. And I wrote some of them down because I'm like, I'm not going to remember this stuff. Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah. Yeah.
Darkwing
A lot
Duck.
of smoke and he appears, Master of Disguise.
He was amazing.
Yeah. Bad guys are out of luck. Here comes Darkwing Duck. Duh.
Exactly. Duh.
Duh. Quack, quack.
He's the terror that flaps in the night.
He's the terror that flaps in the night. It's Darkwing Duck. One of my favorites was Chippendale's Rescue Rangers.
And they rebranded all that shit too. We had DuckTales, we had Tailspin, we had Rescue Rangers, all that shit.
DuckTales, Rescue Rangers, I have those written down. So other cartoons I watched was like Rainbow Bright or like Captain Planet.
Okay.
Roll right along.
What was your favorite?
What was my favorite?
If you had to pick one.
I really liked Rescue Rangers.
That was like favorite?
I don't know if it was my favorite. See, that's why I'm like my memory. I don't remember all the stuff I watched as a kid.
I would like for people to go back and watch episodes of Rescue Rangers and listen to Zipper in his voice, and then listen to Gollum in Lord of the Rings and see how similar they are. Very, very similar voices. Yeah.
Again, more proof of the nightmare fuel that was snuck into our childhood. If the voice is supposed to be for a cute little hamster or whatever, what was he? A chipmunk?
He was
Zipper was a fly.
Okay, so little fly is going to sound like Gollum Smeagol.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be this cute, adorable.
I don't remember him sounding like that. Gotta pour myself a shot.
Shot.
It's been a Sunday, everyone. And
a great Sunday.
A Cowboys win Sunday.
Exactly.
Oh God,
Go Cowboys!
Freaking fucking Cowboys. They're obsessed.
What's
with
going
that.
to be?
But Zoe in her little Cowboys jersey, I am all for that. I am all for that.
Can you see her? Is the camera low enough?
No, I can't see her. There she is. Aw.
Oh, she's so got it on. She's so cute.
Zoe.
Everyone that's Zoe. She's such a cute little girl. She's my favorite after my puppy.
Zoe, what are you doing? Come here.
Her cute little face. You guys are all gonna freak out. Oh my god.
Look at her. So cute.
Fucking hell. Hi, Zoe. Hi, baby girl.
Hey.
Her tail will kind of. She's so cute. I freaking love that dog.
She has her moments. Don't you, baby?
I have so many videos and pictures of her saved on my phone. I'm like, Keith, stop it. Like, I'm saving it all because it's too cute.
Oh. Here goes this list.
But yeah, so back to cartoons again, I guess.
Cartoons.
Yeah, isn't that what we were talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a show I watched a lot that was not a cartoon that I would play with friends at recess in like 6th grade. We would pretend that we were Power Rangers.
That counts. I'll count it.
See, I think that should count.
Yeah, that counts.
Thank you.
I was too old to be into the Power Rangers, and I still watch them, and I don't care.
That's like, right. Be proud.
I had a battery-operated doorbell to my bedroom that was full of like metal posters and all that shit, but there was a Power Rangers doorbell on the wall outside my door, and you touch it, and it would go.
I love that.
And I wouldn't acknowledge if somebody knocked.
You got to ring the bell, bitches.
Mm-hmm. I'd hear, Keith.
That's like, oh man, I was going to say it, but then I was like, oh, it'll ruin it for Keith because Keith is watching Supernatural. For you guys out there who are Supernatural fans, he's watching it for the first time right now. And I've been watching some of the episodes with him. I've gone through the entire series at least 6 times.
You celebrate the entire collection.
I celebrate it all.
Yeah.
I'm there for it all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any reason to not watch it. It's just by the time everyone was like, hey, have you seen this show? I was like, there's like 45 fucking seasons. I'm not starting this right now.
That's true. That is true.
There'll be peace when you are done.
Oh my God.
Actors and fans celebrate the what? Legacy of Supernatural.
Supernatural. Oh,
so far.
Mike.
And it's stories from the actors themselves.
Shut up. Okay, you need to send me a link to that because I'm going to order it.
I will.
It's like I want so badly to share this story that because when
I'll mute. I'll not listen for a second if you want to.
Ooh, and we can so we can do this with fans who have already watched Supernatural. If you have not watched Supernatural and you don't want a spoiler, this is from season 2 involving a character named Ash. So if you just want to not, because I'm very anti-spoiler and I am sympathetic to your anti-spoilerness as well for those out there who are anti-spoiler. Okay, so last episode I kind of talked how I got into finding Mike and meeting Keith and everything was that random conversation I had with Nick Groff on his Instagram. And that he told me about G Crew, so I started watching that, and Chad was part of it, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, it's Ash from fucking Supernatural. Chad Lindbergh, who also played Jesse in the first Fast and Furious. Keep down there just like, what do I do? Okay, so anyways, so I was geeking out because I was just like, I was such a fan and I absolutely loved his character. His character is one of my favorite like side characters of all time. And I was telling him, I'm like, dude, the part when Sam and Dean knock on Dr. Badass's door and they're just like, and it made me think of that because Keith was like, he's not going to answer the door if they just knock, they have to ring the doorbell. in Dr. Badass, we had to call him Dr. Badass and not Ash, because he would not answer you if you didn't do that. And when he opens the door, the boys have a request for him, and he's like, well, I guess this is going to require pants. And it's just like,
I think his earplugs are near his computer fan.
oh, well, whatever. That's okay. But I was just telling him there were so many funny moments with that. And he was talking, when I brought up that scene, he was like, that scene took forever to film because every time, because all Chad had on was one of those funky, weird Hollywood sack bags that you wear, which I still don't understand. And I need to ask him about this again, because when he opens the door, you only see like part of his chest and his shoulder, I think. I don't know why they made him wear the banana hammock thing.
Yeah, I think he had an open robe, right?
Nobody puts Cookie in a corner.
I think he had an open robe or something like that too, but it was open. Everything was open down below, but yeah.
Did he have a robe on? I don't remember.
When he opened the door.
See, I'm excited to get to that part because Keith didn't even know that Chad was on the show.
Oh.
And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, you're gonna be I'm so excited. And we're getting towards the end of season 1. So he will be introduced to the Ash. Zoe farted audibly. That will happen with fur babies, yes. And sometimes with people. Who knows? Maybe I'll fart. That would be a treat for everyone. But yeah, so it was fun. It was fun getting to talk to him about that, and now he's kind of a homie.
Yeah.
He's a very, very, very cool guy. He's very down to earth and very sweet. And same thing with his mom. I got to meet his mom in Minnesota, and could just squeeze them both. Like,
exactly. They're very both awesome, great big hearts, and he's the only person I've met in my entire life who's almost died. Right.
So. Which Keith is allowed to hear. Yes, you can come back, Keith. Nobody puts Cookie in a corner, baby. Hey, listen now. You can listen.
Hi, guys.
Hi. I said nobody puts Cookie in a corner.
They literally watch 2 people just do it.
Wait, what?
You said nobody puts Cookie in a corner, but everyone literally just watched 2 people do it.
Oh, I get what he's saying now.
Keith's stupid. He just started watching Supernatural. Take your headphones out, fatty stupid.
I didn't say you're stupid. I'm saying how exciting it is. Seriously, like I've
asked both of you, and neither one of you have given me a definitive answer. Both of your answers have been like, "Oh, he just comes into his own." But when, seriously, like, I feel like Sam's going to invite me to church in every episode when I see him. Like, he's going to tell me about this really cool worship band that he's starting with his friends and ask if I play anything. That goes away, right? It has nothing to do with how he acts.
It goes away. That's season 1.
Okay,
it definitely is the vibe that he gives off early on. And I think a lot of people would understand this, especially if they do bother to watch this show and they understand how how we geek out over things that we love. And I get super excited when either like a movie that I'm like obsessed with or a show that I absolutely love, when someone I know is like, I've never seen that before and they're about to watch it. Like, I want to watch it with them, because then you kind of get to experience it like it's the first time watching it again by seeing how they react to it. And I
have one show.
It's the same thing with music too.
Yeah. Well, we do that a lot with music.
Yeah, we do.
I have a show like that has not been canceled once, but twice. And
really?
Yeah.
Which show?
I even had a tattoo from the show, but it's covered up now because I did all
Yeah.
Heroes.
Oh yes.
Heroes
Yes.
was my shit.
Yeah.
I still want to know what happened with the carnival.
Yeah, I need to go back and rewatch all those. I did go through and watch the whole series.
Don't. It'll just hurt.
But since then I hadn't. Well, no,
It'll just hurt.
I can go through series, and it's even ones that have been canceled that I love. I'll still go through and watch them.
Yeah, that was my one. Have y'all had? I know everybody loses their shit over Firefly, but I never watched it.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Wait, what?
No, I never did.
We're gonna
I
watch it
didn't
together.
either.
So
We're gonna watch it
here's a
together.
no, we're not, because here's a thing I have. If there's a show that I didn't get into and everyone loses their shit when it's canceled, why do I want to put myself through that?
Dude, because it's so the stuff that you do see is so great.
But then I'll have another Heroes, and I don't want that in my life.
That's true too.
Like if I told you
Seriously?
Lynn's Hannibal was one that did that. I
know
love
who
that show.
did that to you. See, I have Captain
Mhm.
Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly. Fuck him.
He was in Jurassic Park.
I always go the wrong way.
I was Dr. Ian Malcolm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking.
Goldblum,
What's his
I know
nuts?
that.
Yeah, Goldblum.
What's his nuts? So
I
what is
remember-
Firefly
Firefly.
about? Like
Space.
in a small, because I know like
People in
people that
space.
love that show will tell you like,
Space and they're smugglers.
so it's Han
And
Solo.
the captain, and at least one member of his crew, they're kind of fresh off of a war that happened. But the characters are so great.
Would you put it more towards like a Starship Troopers kind of space feel, or more of a one of the 27 different Star Treks they've tried in the past 15 years?
I would say more like Starship Troopers.
Okay, I could try that.
You absolutely could, and we're gonna do it together.
Well, maybe when I'm 47 and done with fucking Supernatural, we can give it a go.
We've been cruising through Supernatural.
How many
fairly-
seasons are there?
15.
And we're still in one.
But we're almost at the end of one.
But the
I
last
will
two,
put.
the last two
Mhm.
seasons, the episodes are shortened. There's not as many. Like, you
Oh,
know, I
okay.
think it was like 22 or 24 episodes per season, but the last two seasons kind of were
How many?
Well, isn't that because
22 or 24 episodes per season.
Hour-long shows?
it was
Well,
on for an hour? So I
and
mean,
there's-
once you
I-
just watch it on Netflix, it's short. It's not going to be
40
a whole
46
fucking hour.
minutes.
Yeah.
With your
But
eyes
there's
over
22.
there.
Yo, that's 22 hours per season, and there's 17 seasons. You know this will never be done.
Dude, how?
15
Okay,
seasons.
you guys both told me that when
It took
you
me
binge
a
watch
year to
things,
rewatch Smallville.
you will go 48 hours straight to binge something, and you guys both do it no problem. So
I
I
do
don't
it.
want to hear it.
Smallville, Daredevil.
All right, I know you can do
Granted.
it.
But that's what I'm saying. Smallville was what, 10 seasons? And that took
10
me a
seasons.
fucking year.
Really?
Yeah.
That
That's
took me
because you're
like
not committed. You're obviously.
And that
slacking.
was single me. Not married me.
so all the time in the world when not working to watch you,
right.
it took you that long.
Not having to pretend I wasn't waiting for someone to fall asleep to watch something.
Oh, that's so sad.
I could come home and watch something. And it took me a year.
Wow.
Somebody save me.
You sound so sad now. Oh no.
That's what this is, a big undertaking to watch Supernatural.
It is, but it's going to be a fun one. Smallville. See, I never. Well, Smallville
Is that part
one
of his
that I have
cape?
not.
That's what
Dude,
it's
it's part of his shirt.
because he only had the cape in the last. He didn't even have the cape in the last episode.
He has another card. He showed me he's got 2 cards that are squares from their clothing. That's from his shirt.
That's from his shirt. And then
Boom. Lois Lane.
Yeah.
it's not gonna focus, obviously.
I love her, dude. I loved her on that show.
There we go.
Yeah.
Smallville is one that I have not seen.
Erica Durance was perfect for that role, man.
She was. I agree.
And then she came back on Supergirl.
Yeah.
Oh,
as her
Supergirl!
mom.
I'm behind on Supergirl.
Oh, I haven't
Don't
watched.
get Mike started on Supergirl.
Yeah.
That
The
was
Flash.
the whole thing.
The Flash is the only one I've kept watching since Arrow went off the air.
Like I need to I just have to keep bouncing around to like catch up with things. There's too much stuff. There's too much.
Oh, it's kind of like 17 seasons of youth group leader fighting werewolves.
Hey, no. No, not true.
I do like the show. I'm
told
just
you that
getting.
there's all sorts of crazy places that the characters go. Like both Dean and Sam have their moments of and then other characters enter the show that you will love.
You
And I've told and I was like, it's fun how they play around with the themes of like supernatural. Well, I like how they bring in some truths to supernatural things or to legends and myths, how they bring those in. And that's a good chunk of how Keith is able to come up with what happens in the episode.
But yeah,
I was also thinking like of talking about other shows that have been canceled that we loved.
yeah.
Like, there's there's been so many, especially when you're a fan of sci-fi. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of stuff gets canceled way too early.
Prime example.
Lows.
The first run in 1990 of The Flash.
Yeah.
One
Okay,
season.
so I'm not familiar with that.
Was
Was
it
that
one
on
or two
cable,
seasons?
perchance?
It was one. Do you know the guy who plays Barry's dad on the new show?
Right. I
He
knew he
played
was
the-
the
yeah.
original one.
Yeah,
I didn't know when it was or
like 89 or
cable?
90.
Cable.
Yeah.
No, it was on CBS.
Yeah, it was like CBS.
Regular stuff.
Regular
If
TV.
it was 90, I would have been 8.
Oh my god.
I was 9.
Fuck off, Mike.
He's just laughing because it's a trigger from all the nerves he damaged having to crank start his car.
Yeah.
It's not a real laugh.
That old.
That just makes me think of oh fuck, what was it? With Chris Rock, was this one of the shit. Man, my brain is not
It
brain.
was.
There were the series, the cop series with Mel Gibson and
Lethal Weapon.
who played Lethal Weapon. There's an episode. There's I think it's the 4th one or something, where Chris Rock is like,
Third one.
they talk about losing cell phones. He's like, I never lost my grandmother's phone. 4. Like, it takes you a fucking half hour just to make a long distance phone call or something. And it, oh my god.
Him and Joe Pesci, or those names going back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh, so great.
That was a classic scene.
Oh my god. 4. 5. Yep, my grandma still had that phone. The same.
I grew up with 2 of those phones longer than anyone else I knew had one.
See, there you go. So there's your cable incident or whatever.
It was still a phone. It just dialed differently. It wasn't like I could only call 3 people.
We had the no. Our first one was like the push. Well, I can't say technically first because when I was an infant and we were in whatever apartments, I don't know what the phone situation was there, but in the house I grew up in, it was the button.
The first
phone,
one
and
you
then we got a
remember.
cordless phone. Wait, so what?
The first one you remember.
First one I remember was
Yeah. Beep boop pop beep.
beep pop 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 pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. Going back to entertainment.
First.
Another cartoon and movie.
Yes, I watched that one. I remember that.
And those were
That
the
was
best
awesome.
fucking toys.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
I don't care. You can say I had this G.I. Joe or this. Did you have the Egon that when you squeeze him, his hair shot up and eyes came out. Then you can't come play with me.
I didn't have it, but I was familiar with it. My brother had some Ghostbusters stuff.
The kid next door had I don't remember if it was the actual proton pack or if it was just something that you shined on the wall, but it was like a flashlight with a film over it that would put like Slimer and different ghosts and shit on the wall.
Yeah, I remember that.
We go sit in his hallway
with the wiggly stuff coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say the original cartoon series of Ghostbusters was great because it was based on the original characters. But the second series
with that, is that the one that had the ape?
I think so. Yeah, it was just stupid.
Got a girl.
Yeah.
The Keeper Zool and the Keymaster.
You know what I've been saying? Honestly, you know how some people, you just licked the precursor to Vigo.
No, I didn't.
You literally did.
I was close to, but I didn't.
I've been paranoid about like my reason for living and surviving this next long gap of time. I'm like, fuck, I hope I don't die before the afterlife, before Ghostbusters Afterlife comes out, because I have to know. Like, is that weird to have that thought, though? To be like, look, if I die, I die, but I can't go knowing this is coming and I'm not going to be able to see it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Firefly got canceled. Heroes got canceled. Mike, what's yours?
Oh, man.
You mentioned both of those, sir. I disagreed with you. So I have them after Mike.
Oh, yeah.
So, Daredevil, I think it was like the best Marvel show put on Netflix. And
I think it was the best Marvel show.
Yeah. I
mean, totally I liked Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I like Jessica Jones a lot too.
Yeah.
But Daredevil was...
Jones. She's my fucking spirit animal. I love her.
The fact in season 1, they had this fight scene that was shot in one take.
Those are insane.
The hallway,
the
choreographers and everything
for those fight
one
scenes.
Take, and it was like an 8-minute scene.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, holy crap, And
there's rumors about him.
Some of the best fight scenes you'll ever see are in that show. Very true.
There's rumors about him showing up in the new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
As Peter's attorney.
Yeah.
Really?
Daredevil and Spider-Man work together a lot in the comics.
They do.
Did they?
I have a few comics with them together.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so excited now. See, this is one good thing about not having read any of the comics growing up.
Because you get super surprised.
Yeah.
Because that's awesome. I would love to see them work together.
But yeah, Daredevil was 3 seasons?
So good.
It was 3 seasons.
You had 3 of Daredevil, 1 of
the combined,
Iron Fist, which was so bad.
No, it was 2 of Iron Fist, which was bad.
Yeah.
Were there 2?
Yeah, because you had.
I thought it was a 1 season and then the Defenders.
It was 1 season, Defenders, and then a 2nd season of Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Daredevil had 2 seasons, Defenders, and then 3rd season.
Right.
And then Jessica Jones.
Jones and Luke Cage both had 1.
2 seasons.
No, Jess had her 2nd after that, though.
Yeah, after.
Yeah.
Luke Cage only had 1, didn't he?
He had 2, didn't he? No, he had 2.
So Luke Cage and Iron Fist both had 2.
Yeah.
I was like Iron Fist. I thought was kind of weak. It had its moments, but in terms of the other ones, it was kind of weak. Luke Cage,
if they casted people properly and had better dialogue, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah,
a lot better.
Jessica Jones, I absolutely loved. I really liked Luke Cage too, and I thought both of those were canceled too soon.
And both the Punisher seasons were really good too.
That as well. Yes, Punisher.
Yes.
Same with Punisher.
I grew up loving the Punisher comics, and I think
I did too.
I think I've got
Punisher. how I was gonna react to it because I was familiar with that actor from Walking Dead and everything, but he did such a
Oh, he's an underrated actor, hands down. John
unbelievable
Bernthal.
job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's
played Frank Castle to a T.
Oh, so good.
Thomas Jane didn't do a bad job in the movie
True.
Right.
at
I
all.
like that movie, yeah.
But it's just that era of Marvel movies. It wasn't Spider-Man.
Yeah.
When you look at like Daredevil, Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, like that group that tried.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Spider-Man was the only one. Spider-Man and X-Men were the only ones doing anything.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
And I read, I don't know if y'all have seen this, Blade, like the first Blade movie
Mhm.
is actually what saved Marvel from going out of business.
I didn't know that.
It was
Really?
such a big hit. That's the first one that Marvel made because they sold the rights. They were just going broke. So they sold the rights to Spider-Man to Sony. Fantastic Four went to Fox, just all different properties. But Blade,
Oh, that's interesting.
it was Marvel and New Line, I think. But Marvel didn't sell it off to New Line. So they got the residuals from it, and it made so much, and they made 2 more. That's, if it wasn't for Blade, we wouldn't have any of what we have now with it. Any of the comic stuff.
Well, thank you, Blade.
Right? Like that kind of blew my
Holy
mind
shit.
a little bit. When I saw that, I was like, holy shit, Wesley Snipes.
Like so much of that, so many amazing movies and the series that they're coming out with and everything right now. Like none of that would have happened.
You probably wouldn't have even had the. Yeah, I think
I was going to say we wouldn't have our collections that we have.
If you take out Spider-Man and X-Men, the next Marvel movie that was made was, I believe, either Daredevil or Hulk, the Ang Lee Hulk with Jennifer Connelly and
Banner.
Okay, yeah.
That was like 2003, I think, when that one came out.
Yeah. Well, I think, the comics, there's been rough spots over the years, and it's mainly because lack of comic sales. And then they decided, we can go digital.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they went digital, but the way they did it, they set it up was you pay monthly, kind of like what we have now for all these streaming services.
Right. Like an Apple Music thing for comic books, pretty much.
Yeah. But you're paying monthly, and then you're getting these comics for free. So where they're like $1.99 a comic, you're losing that because somebody's only paying $5 for the app.
Yeah.
And it was there was no money coming in, so they were thinking, okay, well maybe we can start selling rights and start doing things. And I think you're right. Yeah, they came out with Blade, and it kicked off things.
Mm-hmm.
And so and the sad thing is
everything is huge right now.
Yeah.
It's so huge.
And the sad thing is that a lot of people don't even recognize that Blade was part of the MCU. And
well, they're about to.
Yeah.
I didn't know that for a long time. I only learned that like a year or 2 ago.
Yeah. Yeah, Blade. I think the whole Blade thing we're going to see with Mahershala Ali is going to be a lot more based around multiverse and Doctor Strange stuff than anything.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Blade and Deadpool in one scene together?
That's a lot of swords.
Yeah, it is. And it makes me really happy.
Hey, do you know if Blade ever teamed up with or had any kind of like fights with Morbius?
I want to say yes.
Because I don't see those two coexisting. Do you know Morbius, Lindsay?
Yeah.
I need some more details.
So Morbius is kind of like Venom. He's not a bad guy or a good guy. He's just kind of like your anti-hero, like a Catwoman or a Venom or like that type of. and
And
Jared
Justin
Leto's
Timberlake.
playing him in a movie
I
that's
love
coming out.
anti-heroes. Yeah.
So he is essentially a doctor, like a hematologist, hemoglobin, whatever, blood stuff, who has a rare blood disease, and something happens with vampire bats as an experiment that he's trying on himself, like a radical experiment as a last ditch effort to save himself, and he becomes a living vampire.
Okay, this is gonna sound really weird, but what in the comics was he like blonde or light brown hair?
No, it's dark.
Dark hair.
Really? Okay.
Mhm.
I know this is totally random and out of nowhere, but like I have those coloring apps that I do and stuff.
Mhm.
And one of them has Marvel stuff, and those are like my favorite. And one of the like this last week, I think 4 new ones came out, and one of them, it looks like Venom, but the dude had blonde hair, so I wasn't sure exactly.
So yeah, Brock, that's Venom.
Yeah, that's it.
Venom. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Do
Venom.
you want this one
So
to explain it?
So Brock is a former reporter for the Daily Bugle that gets into it with Peter Parker a lot. Peter Parker outed him, and during that time, Peter Parker, in the original comics, we're talking about the old comics, 1980s Secret Wars, where they went to this distant planet to fight this being. I can't remember what the being was.
It was a celestial, wasn't it?
I can't remember. There's the Beyonder.
Yes, I'm not even. Keep telling. I'll check.
Spider-Man went there with a bunch of heroes to fight, and at the end of the battle,
are we
he's
spoiling
walking around
for people? Do we need to give a heads up for anyone for spoilers?
This shouldn't be a spoiler.
No.
Okay.
This hadn't been made.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's right. You're talking comics
from
the 80s. Okay, never mind.
So this is based off the comics. So after the battle, his costume is all tattered and worn out and whatever, and he's walking around this alien headquarters, and out walks Thor, whose own uniform was all tattered and jacked up. And he's like, "Hey, how did you get that? Like, how's your uniform?" He's like, "Oh, there's a machine in there, and it gives you this new costume. You just think about it, and it happens." So Peter Parker's like, "Oh, that's a great idea." So he goes in there, and he's looking around, and he sees a machine, doesn't know what it is.
Oh God!
He places his hand in it.
Oh no!
And just a little drop goes, tink, lands on his hand. And he's like, "Okay, is that it?" And then all of a sudden, the black ooze goes.
I was just gonna say,
goes all over his costume and reforms it into the black and white costume. And that's where the original black costume came from. And then a year or two later, in the actual Amazing Spider-Man comics, you start seeing that the costume is a living, what they call a symbiote.
Oh, so it's alive.
Yeah, so that ends up becoming Venom.
So Eddie Brock is the host for
Venom.
Yeah.
Because so Peter Parker,
it's not like an outfit or a superpower. It's literally like a Jekyll and Hyde type thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Parker, did some bad things in the black costume. And so one of the things he did was, and it's kind of like what they try to bring.
So it was Spider-Man, like influencing him.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Spider-Man,
kind of similar to Spider-Man 3.
Just kind of like that, trying to be close to the comic, but not so much. But anyways,
they went more off just the idea of it than anything.
He gets Brock fired, and then Spider-Man finally fights off this symbiote in a church with a bell, whatever, and the symbiote oozes away. Well, it ends up finding Brock Lesnar, and they find out that
Eddie Brock,
Eddie Brock, sorry, WWE.
Names are hard.
No, that's wrestling.
That's wrestling.
Oh, okay. Well, names, I mean, they're hard in general. Like,
you said Brock Lesnar, and I heard the music, and
he was transported.
Yeah.
He finds Eddie Brock, and they obviously communicate through the symbiote, and he tells Eddie, "Oh, I know who Spider-Man is, and it's your arch enemy and my arch enemy, Peter Parker. And they formed and they became Venom. And that's why he went after Spider-Man and tried to kill him so many times. And nearly did.
And they also work together a lot too, though.
Yeah. Weirdly
especially
enough,
with Carnage.
Oh yeah, especially with Carnage.
So they're frenemies? They have a weird frenemy thing?
Yeah.
Frenemies are always interesting. I think that's a very interesting dynamic.
I might actually have that original comic.
Probably do.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably.
But yeah, it's weird. Like the relationship, Spider-Man is all over Marvel. Like you'd be hard pressed to find a story that he's not involved in somehow.
Yeah.
But the fact that he and Daredevil work together
in the movies.
Mm-hmm. Like that's a pretty accurate representation of his
presence.
Yeah, and then he's in he's in Brooklyn. Yeah. And then Hell's Kitchen is where Matt Murdock is. And that's how they work together so much because they're just like neighborhood apart pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone's like, well, if the fucking multiverse is opening up and like all the different Peters and different villains and all of that, and then we see in the Spider-Man trailer, you see these hands slam down on the table when Peter's in interrogation. And the way the arm looks, the rolled up sleeve, the colors, everything is exactly how Matt Murdock looked when he was in court on the Daredevil show.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why a lot of people are thinking, because you never see that guy's face in the trailer. And they show his like body 3 times.
I'm going to have to watch that again.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But that's why everyone's like,
so awesome.
Holy shit, Charlie Cox is in the MCU now.
I hope he's in it. That would be rad.
That opens up Punisher and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist. And Iron Fist coming with 10 rings now. How would that work?
And if the Marvel films do bring Jessica Jones in, I hope they use Kristen Ritter.
Oh, they would.
Absolutely loved her as Jessica Jones.
If we see Charlie Cox,
I would think
all that's going to be the same.
But
it was. That's why I was cheesing so hard on that trailer.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Mike read more comics than I did for sure. His knowledge of it is a little bit more. But there's a lot, like when you hear Secret Wars, that was very similar kind of as far as like the size and the impact that it had, just like the Infinity Saga was.
Okay, yeah.
That we just saw, come to fruition. And a lot of people think Secret Wars, the first one, not the second one that he was just talking about, is coming up. And that's what's going to help bring in, because if Mike, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Was it Secret Wars 1 that was like the X-Men versus the Avengers pretty much? Or was that a completely different story?
Completely different story.
But Secret Wars 1 is
Avengers versus X-Men?
Yeah, that was yeah. Everyone's talking about Secret Wars bringing in mutants though, and I those two, the Secret Wars and then the X-Men and Avengers stuff always get fuddled up in my head, but I know there's something with Secret Wars, and it's space stuff. And you look at how we ended with the core of the Avengers, like you had Thor going into space with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's going to open up a lot too. Yeah. And that could open up a door for Secret Wars. Okay. Because you add in multiverse opening up, Doctor Strange, you add in King the Conqueror.
Yes.
But I did find the original 1984.
Hell yeah.
Holy crap.
Which one is that? Number 8? Is that show at the top?
Yeah, number 8.
Yeah, number 8.
Yep, number 8. And it's 12.
Shit.
Yep.
Wow.
1984.
It was April 84 to April 85. So that would have been like December.
Yeah. I mean, I could open it up and show.
Do
I
not.
was gonna say,
Mike, no.
No, don't get oils from your hands on there, no.
Yeah.
I need to send you pictures of the two. They're probably not worth much of shit, but they're cool. They're from the Dallas Morning News way back in, I think it was either 70s or 80s, but they did Marvel Comics mixed with Dallas Cowboys inserts just in the local newspaper, and I have two of them with Spider-Man framed.
What?
Advertising supplement to the Dallas Times Herald, Marvel Comics Group, the Dallas Cowboys, and Spider-Man, Danger in Dallas.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
And
Mike is
Spider-Man,
so happy now.
Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk in the Southwest Showdown, Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders missing.
What?
Oh my god. That's cool.
Or actual
That's fun
comics
that they
in
did
their
that.
frame?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's fun that they did that. I love that.
It's a 60-cent value.
So that's probably around 70s. What year?
Yeah.
were they? Usually,
There's one of the ads on the back.
Football cake.
Wow.
And then whatever that is.
Play along with Singer Harris.
Mm.
Don't know what Singer Harris is.
No idea.
Yeah, it's hard now to
September 83.
Damn. It's hard to look up how much they would be worth because the people that grade them, you have to buy into their monthly service.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Seriously? You can't
yeah.
like look it up?
Yeah, you can't. It used to be easy like that, but you can't. Yeah. And
People want to charge for everything these days.
They do.
It's fucking ridiculous.
In order for me to like look up everything, I mean, the great thing about it is you put in all your comics and you put in, okay, yeah, they're near mint, and it gives you the amount that they're possibly worth
So
without
it gives
being
you
graded.
a total value for all the stuff you have.
Yeah, it gives you a total value.
That's nice, but you should still be able, because that if that's something people want to do, I understand like paying and buying into that and stuff. But for people who just want to find out a random thing, like you have to pay to find out. That's I hope we have a bunch of random stuff in the thing because that's how our minds work. So that's how this podcast will work as well, I think.
Yeah, this was literally.
We started with cartoons and we ended with, well, kind of cartoons in a way also. Kind of.
Yeah, in a way.
But we went all over the place in the middle.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And inappropriate things as well. But that's also going to be part of this podcast.
I didn't see anything wrong.
I don't see nothing wrong.
So for any of you out there who have actually watched this, we appreciate you greatly.
You made it to the end.
We appreciate you. And your thoughts on anything, share in the comments. We would love to hear from you. And we will comment back. Right. It's like as soon as we can when we notice. And yeah, that is our show tonight. Let's wrap it up.
Whenever. Thanks for putting up with our bullshit, guys.
Yeah,
this is you'll see some structure and you'll see some of this. It's just how it's going to go. So,
yep, that's live.
Watch what you want. It's just fun.
Exactly. On to the next.
Yeah.